Martha Teichner this morning finds herself at the Lost Kitchen.
I just wanted to pause for a moment and welcome you all and thank
By the time Erin French welcomes guests, 50 of them,
Hello.
twice a week, to her Lost Kitchen restaurant.
I have a raspberry shrub here for you to enjoy.
They've been sipping
tuck one in here.
and sampling for 2 hours already.
A platter of oysters.
And they haven't even gotten to what's on the menu yet.
I hope you taste our joy tonight because that is what we are running on. Some good ingredients too and a lot of love.
And something else. Baked into every meal she serves is the story of how, at the Lost Kitchen, she found freedom and now fame. In Freedom, Maine. Population about 700.
You make me feel like this is the center of the universe.
So it seems it is. The Lost Kitchen is one of the hardest to get reservations in the world.
Enjoy.
Erin French has a cookbook out with another one in the works. And movie rights to her best-selling memoir were sold in a major bidding war.
A lot of people. They're all outside. Are we ready?
Season 3 of her TV series begins this month. Her success is all the more stunning because of how hard it was to come by. Here's what she says.
My dad was a pretty hard guy to be around.
Her father, Jeff Richardson, owned a diner. This one, just outside Freedom. Erin started working there at 12.
To have moments when I would make something on the line and he'd give me that quiet look of, you did it right. That's where I learned to figure out this challenging relationship with my dad was to cook together.
Her mother, Deanna, was a school teacher.
She would never speak out. She wasn't allowed to.
All Erin wanted to do was get away from the diner, out of Freedom. And she did. But after 2.5 years of college in Boston, at 21, she discovered she was pregnant, dropped out, and went back to Freedom to have her baby, a boy she named James, and to work at the diner.
Even coming back home and diving back into food, I still wasn't picking up on the cues that maybe I loved this.
Finally, it sunk in. At the age of 30, Erin opened a restaurant, the first Lost Kitchen. It was a hit, but her life was a wreck, especially her marriage.
My anxiety was growing. I was working these crazy hours, and I was in this miserable marriage. I started taking prescription medication, and that's when the spiral started to happen.
What came next? Addiction. A drawn-out, nasty divorce. Erin lost her restaurant. For a time, she even lost custody of her son. So she had to drag herself out of the depths.
I spent a lot of just recovery time, just bringing myself back to life and living here.
Her lifeboat was a land yacht.
It was an absolute mess.
She took a sledgehammer to the interior.
I just had this one moment of just let it all go and just needed a good scream and a good cry and a fresh beginning.
Zhuzhed up, as Erin likes to say, it became the Lost Kitchen on wheels.
I had to come see your Airstream.
Now it's parked a few yards from the 19th century mill where the restaurant has been for the last 8 years.
Okay, guys.
A tourist attraction even for people who can't get reservations. And that's practically everybody.
To get a reservation here, you have to send in a postcard.
This year, the restaurant received over 50,000.
A lot of love here.
Postcards are drawn at random to determine who gets in. The restaurant is open from the end of May to October. Dinner costs $195. Sounds like a lot, but it's for a good 12 courses. Erin cooks local.
Okay.
Her secret ingredient?
Lots of butter. Salty and delicious.
The Lost Kitchen is staffed mainly by women, all Erin's friends, who don't need to talk as they work, to music, a soundtrack for the happy ending to this story about second chances.
was a moment that I realized that I had to go through all of that to get exactly right here, and that is that beautiful and terrifying thing about life.
9 years ago, Erin met media executive Michael Dutton. They got married in 2018.
Perfect.
Erin's mother, now divorced from her dad, does whatever needs doing.
I have a title now. It's Executive Zhuzher.
And when dinner begins, Erin French presides over the lost kitchen, like a woman who has finally found herself.
Here's to the memories we make in this room, and I hope they last a good long time. Here's to 3 more hours of eating, okay? Cheers, guys. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. Cheers.